Tails is called. It is heads. Australia won the toss in the 30 option to the second half. They will start with the kickoff.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome inside Clark Stadium here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, as we get ready for this consolation semi-final between Australia and Panama at these 2024 IFAF World Junior Football Championship. So glad you could join us here from wherever you're tuning in across the globe. My name is Grayson Knutson, pleased to be joined by TJ Phillips here in the broadcast booth. TJ, both these teams coming off a loss in their opening game. Obviously, the big prize is now out of reach, but still 2 more games to go out there and prove to the world why you belong on this stage.
Oh, yeah, Grayson. Lots to play for out there this afternoon. Pride, skill still on display, and you never want to go home without a win, Grayson. So they want a W, and they certainly want to keep their hopes of a high finish in this tournament alive. Both sides do.
Panama dropped an 86-12 decision to the United States in their quarterfinal matchup, while Australia were stymied 50-6 by Japan. Now, the United States and Japan played a semifinal just earlier today. Japan won that one 41-20. So based on that result, maybe you give a slight edge in this game to Australia, but you never know, I guess, until you hit the field. And these two teams haven't played against each other at a World Junior Championship, so no history, so a first meeting ever, and I think it should be really interesting, I think.
Yeah, a lot of mystery on both sides. They've never seen each other before, and they have opposing styles and different highlights to each squad. Panama's giving up a little bit of size. That could make a difference on the running side of the field. But both these teams attack in the air, Grayson, so maybe some fireworks offensively. That'd be fun.
Aiden DeBrouwer is the kicker for Australia. They won the toss and elected to defer to the second half. Panama will receive this opening kickoff. DeBrouwer sends it into the sky, and we are underway. That one is taken by Raul Del Castillo. Del Castillo gets a couple of blocks, and he'll get out of bounds just over the 30-yard line. A good return for Panama to open things up, and we'll see the offense go to work for the first time.
Australia was so stingy in their quarterfinal game on special teams. It really kept them in the match against Japan. So healthy return there for Panama to set up okay starting spot for their offense.
Panama, I think, is the only team in this tournament that's run with just the one quarterback. Christian Restrepo is the only listed QB on their roster. And he will hand the ball off to Angel Chamorro, and Chamorro didn't have a lot of joy in the game against the United States and immediately met in the backfield there by number 21, William McBride.
Japan punished Australia up the middle with this exact run, little right side, guard side run. McBride in the backfield, quick as lightning, making a tackle for a loss. That gets things moving in the right direction for Australia. They needed something positive to happen on run defense. McBride did that right there.
It's a loss of 3, essentially, so 2nd and 13 now for Panama and Restrepo. In the game against the United States, we saw a lot of quick offense from Panama, a lot of handoffs, a lot of short dump hitch passes. We'll see if that's the game plan here again offensively. A little bit of a bobble, and Restrepo again gets it out quick. Great diving play there. Number 23, Harrison Pratt, breaking up that pass.
I don't know if Restrepo ever had a good handle on that ball, Grayson. It wasn't a great throw. He fumbled it off the snap, but a great play by number 23, Harrison Pratt, to read the quarterback's option and knock down that pass out of the air. Great job on defense again. And now already an early important 3rd down for Panama as the Australian defense looks sharp.
They were pretty good against Japan, but that Japanese run game is so good, and they ran all over the Americans too. Earlier today, there's a little swing pass. This one for Leonardo Anderson, and Anderson will get up to about the 35, still well short of the first down marker, so a punt situation here for the Panamanians.
Yeah, Anderson's not going to have enough there for the first down, but I think that's what Restrepo and this Panama offense are going to want to do. Spread the field, get out into the flanks and make that linebacking group move around the field. It was a good decision on third down, but not enough, and the punt team's out.
Heath and Pratt are back to return for Australia. The wind is blowing from right to left on your screen, about 20 kilometers an hour, gusting upwards of 40, and ever so slightly as well from the top of your screen to the bottom of your screen as you watch at home. Temperature about 22 degrees Celsius here in Edmonton as this low drive kick from Del Castillo will roll towards the 20, and Panama will just down it short of there, about the 22-yard line, and that's where the Australian offense will go to work for the first time.
Carlos Affray on special teams got up there in a hurry. That was a line drive kick, and he beat the return man to the ball to limit the return and ground it there at about the 22-yard line. So out comes Austin Hewitt and the Australian offense, who I think they maybe felt they deserved more than they got against Japan, and they can make some plays. They broke a couple of big plays against Japan, and we'll see what they have in store for us this afternoon.
Aston Hewitt just celebrated his 18th birthday 3 days ago. And so he will lead the Australian offense. One receiver to that narrow side, a couple to the wide side, and a couple of backs as well, and that's where the ball is handed off. Short gain on first down there. And the running back was number 28, Caden Eastwood.
Not much room for Eastwood on first down. Hewitt likes to look down the side of the field. You know, he's looking for these tall, athletic Australian wide receivers and tight ends, try to make plays in the air. They didn't have much success on the ground against Japan, but they didn't do great in the trenches either. So let's see what they do in the air.
2nd and 9 now for the Aussies. Hewitt, couple of backs as well, similar formation to first down. Hewitt hands off once again and busting through, picking up a decent gain. On second down there was Eastwood up to the 30-yard line. Going to be a couple of yards short of the first down, but certainly manageable on third.
Oh, you gotta love the effort from Eastwood. Kept those feet churning, the legs moving, and brought that pile with him. An extra couple of feet. Took a tackle down low and fell forward. That's hard-nosed Australian football right there.
So 3rd and 2 here for the Aussies. Hewitt maybe changing the play here as he barks out instructions. Hewitt once again for Eastwood. That'll be enough for the first, and we'll move the sticks. Everything on the ground so far for Australia on this first drive of the game for them.
3 plays, 3 carries for Caden Eastwood, sticking to the script. No problem picking up the first down. Didn't have much to get. He fell forward again. Strong, low center of gravity, tough to bring down. Panama's going to have their hands full today.
1st and 10 from the 33 now. Hewitt takes the snap, fakes the handoff. He's looking long, and he connects there with Ben Heath up for another first down for Australia. You could see the quarterback there. A little bit deeper, but instead catches them.
Special teams already hung right with Hay there. It was going to have to be a perfect throw from Hewitt. They've tried that a few times in the game against Japan. I'd say at least a half a dozen times. So it's something they go to in their toolkit quite a bit, and we should see it again later. Heath in motion down the right side with speed and height. He's going to try to make that play, but I don't think the play got off to a great start. The running back went to the wrong side of the handoff cell, so a little bit of confusion in the backfield on that last play.
Heath and the number 9, Mason Field, the favorite targets in the first game for Australian quarterbacks, both Hewitt and Isaac Woodhouse. And there's a catch there for the aforementioned Field. And that's going to be another first down for the Aussies as they move into Panamanian territory.
Well, we know the Aussies play Australian rules football, and we know that they are showcasing their American rules football talent, but we also know they're a big basketball country.
Yes.
Look at the hops on field right there, coming down with that catch. Beautiful vertical and a running catch for a first down. Great athleticism from Mason Field.
It's up to the Panama defense now to try to slow this Aussie offense down as it continues to chug along. High snap, Hewitt takes. He wants to keep on the draw, but he's got nowhere to go. Lost his helmet, and he's taken down. Gabriel Salgado in the backfield with the sack.
Couple of Panamanian defenders in on that tackle. And again, some confusion at the handoff side here where Hewitt decided to keep, and there was nowhere to go. Helmet clubbed off in a seemingly violent collision at the end. Hewitt has to come off the field there to adjust his equipment, or did he stay on? No,
he is off.
Yeah,
yep.
He has to come off. So Woodhouse in now at quarterback.
So Isaac Woodhouse just kind of thrown into the fire here. Second and about 14 yards here. And Woodhouse will just hand this one off. And back close to the original line of scrimmage there for the Australian running back. That's number 21, William McBride. 27, Tyrell Butcher. I apologize.
Yeah, Butcher with the carry. Safe play. Woodhouse just hopping in to relieve Hewitt as he got his bearings and his equipment back in order. Hewitt's going to trot back out there now and take the snap, and a 3rd and long situation for Australia.
3rd and 11 to be exact. They need to get to the 28-yard line. Hewitt dropping back. Quick hitter. That one connects with Heath, but he's going to be wrapped up short. Nice tackle by Affray there to keep him short of the first down sticks, but decision time now for Mitchell Wellner, the head coach for Australia. Might be a fairly easy decision as they mark him about 4 or 5 yards short.
Incredible tackle by Carlos Affray, giving up at least 2 to 3 inches to Heath and a couple of pounds. Pulled him away from the yardstick on the tackles. We've got any young defenders in the secondary watching this game. That's exactly what you want to do. Pull them away from yards to gain.
So the offense is going to stay on the field here for this 4th down attempt. Need to get to the 28-yard line. It's kind of in that too far for a field goal, too close to punt range. So they'll fake the handoff. Hewitt looking forward. Oh, that's going to be close. Very close. It's going to depend on the spot here as Hewitt lunged ahead. And from the initial spot, looks like you're going to be short. And it is indeed a turnover on downs. Panama with a big stop.
They don't even have to measure, Grayson. They're going to immediately call it a turnover on downs. And despite that, I love the aggressiveness from Connor Brewster here in this situation, this kind of muddy zone you were talking about, where not a high likelihood of hitting that field goal. Punt, you might play around with a turnover, a mistake, but I thought they sold the fake. It looked like a great play, just not enough yards there on the run.
Needed 4, probably only got 3.5. Panama back on offense. They'll try a little fly sweep action, and they'll pick up a good gain on first down, slipping a tackle. Staying in bounds is Ethan Lloyd. And Lloyd will be close to a first down on that first play of this new Panamanian drive.
Lloyd getting out around the corner with a little space to run. Bobbled it for a half second, but tucked it in safely, even took a hit, stayed in bounds. Got very close to the first down, and great run on first down. Get the rhythm back in this offense.
2nd and less than a yard. Do you take a shot here, TJ?
I would stay aggressive, match fire with fire.
Instead, they'll just hand it off, and a stop in the backfield. No room there for Anderson as he is wrapped up by big Kobe Childs.
I don't mind keeping it on the ground in that situation, but if you can let one loose there and keep this defense on their toes, at least thinking about it, right? But instead, they swallow up this run in the backfield. A couple Aussies in there quick. Stuffing that play fast.
Giles, Vincent City Ducks is his team listed on the roster. So now it's 3rd and 2 for Panama after that loss of 1. Restrepo fakes the handoff, wants to throw it. He's got a scramble, rolling out, connects with his man. That's Francisco Saldivar. First down, Panama.
Whoa, big. Chinza Ioka had taken away the passing lane. You're going to see him fill in the sky here on Restrepo, who has to scramble out. But that's what good quarterbacks do, Grayson. They extend plays. They make things happen and improvise. That time Restrepo with his legs making a play. Good throw on the money. Drive continues.
So fresh set of downs for Panama at the 43-yard line. Restrepo has Anderson in the backfield. Couple with receivers to the far side, one to this near side. And a quick hitter. They get it out to Del Castillo. And you want to get it in his hands because he's got some wheels, and he'll get over the 45 of Australia for another first down.
Del Castillo flat outran Campbell Mitchell to that yardstick. Quick timing play from Restrepo, just going to release, don't even think about it, get it into his hands and make Del Castillo make a play. Look at him right there, get past number 5, Christian Barsic, and run down the field towards the yardsticks. Great play. These are speedy offensive weapons for Christian Restrepo and the Panama offense.
I haven't seen him targeted yet, but keep your eye also on top of your screen. Number 17, Juan Pablo Bilbao. Got a lot of targets in that opening game against the United States. Restrepo, and everybody's moving, so we're going to get a penalty here. Panama going a little bit early.
Might be one of these, the entire offensive line false start calls here from our head official.
Start. Offense, number 66. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
I always like that call, Grayson, when they say the entire line moved except the center. That's a good one.
We had one of those in the previous game. They just said offensive line. Mateus Ketteringer is the official for this game today, our head referee. So 1st and 15 now for Panama. Restrepo hands this one off to Lloyd, who lined up in the backfield. Lloyd back over the original line of scrimmage, getting some help from Saldivar. The ball came out. And does Australia have it? Yes, they do.
What a huge play from the Australian defense to annihilate this drive and steal back momentum. You know, these Panamanian running backs, though not big, are full of courage, fearlessly running into the pile. And in this instance, it looks like a hand just got in there right at the end. Looks like our swing out pulled right out of his hands.
97 pulled it out. That's Xavier Kieran. And then looked like number 5, Christian Barsic, was the one to pounce on the loose pigskin.
Yeah, here's another look at it. Boy, the Australians just muscled up on that last play and forced a turnover.
So, Australia back on offense with Hewitt under center. Fakes a handoff, zips it out. That's caught by Heath. And Heath is going to be awful close to a first down, should have it. Goes up high once again. Ben Heath, if you're looking for his catch window, well, it's over his head from the first couple of throws sent his way.
Hewitt's going to work that upper plane all afternoon. The Australians have a height advantage. Yes, but if you put the ball up high in the right spot and it can lead to some yards after the catch, even better. Hewitt was really good at trying to find the right spot for his receivers to make plays, and he did excellent there with Heath.
That's over Oliver Quiros, who had an interception in the game against the United States. Hewitt right under center this time. Now he's going to hand this one off, and not a ton of running room that time for Eastwood. Maybe a yard at most.
Christopher Hertzfeld in on the tackle for Panama. Good push from there, but Hewitt was a little slow coming out of his crouch. As you mentioned, he was under center. He hasn't taken a ton of snaps from there, but it looked like a slow back squat as he stepped out of his crouch. That gave Hertzfeld and the rest of the Panama line time to fill the gap and make a play. So Hewitt's going to want to kind of speed that process up just enough, give his running backs time to make plays.
2nd and 9 for Australia. They are on the Panamanian side of the field now, as they were on their last drive before it fizzled out on 4th down. Eastwood takes a handoff, looking for somewhere to go, and he can't find anything. Luke Koenig, the linebacker, in there among the first tacklers, and that'll go down as a loss, I believe, for Australia. Maybe a half yard, not a ton of loss. One more look at it.
Not much there for Eastwood's going to cut left, right, try to get around Canning. Canning swallows them up. I liked what I've seen from the fundamentals of tackling from this Panama defense. I'm impressed, and that'll keep them in this game for sure.
That 86-12 loss to the United States obviously looks pretty bad on the scoreboard, but Panama had a lot of good plays, and you could see there are some good, solid fundamentals there on this Panamanian side. Now a 3rd and long for Australia, 3rd and 9 as we're into the final few seconds of this opening quarter. Still no points on the board, and Hewitt waited a long time, and I think they just wanted to take the time out. 7.7 left in the quarter.
Hewitt will use the clap, and we actually saw him in the Japan game use a hard count, change up his cadence, but he'll use the clap to get the ball off. And you saw him kind of rush the clap at the end as the play clock was about to expire, but a timeout called from the Australian sideline just in time to save them the down here before the end of the quarter.
A speedy first quarter. Things rolling right along as most of the play has been carried on the ground, but really even between these two teams, it feels like it's just going to be who breaks through first. That might get this game going.
And even both teams have had turnovers, but it hasn't felt sloppy.
Right.
Like it's just been hard-nosed football, and both teams are getting chances. And they've been aggressive on offense when the opportunity calls for it. So I think we're going to have ourselves a good game after a few blowouts in this tournament.
So here we go. This will be likely the final play of the opening quarter. Again, Hewitt out of the gun. Got a running back just to his right. Couple receivers either side. Hewitt drops back. He looks long. He wants Heath. Got it! Big time catch. Ben Heath inside the 15, down around the 12.
Oliver Quiros and Ben Heath were hand fighting all the way down the field. Heath's going to come up with the ball and the big catch and the biggest play of the game so far to get these Australian fans chanting in the stands. Great play by Heath. That's a 50-50 ball and a great battle all the way down the field. I'm impressed with Hewitt's ability to stand in the pocket and make that throw when he had to be hearing the footsteps coming from the blind side.
So again, that's the end of quarter number 1. The teams will swap ends, and Australia is in the red zone looking for the first score of this game after that big-time play to Ben Heath from Aston Hewitt.
What a weapon for Aston Hewitt to have in Ben Heath. He can size up against any safety, any cornerback, and he's going to stand in there and try to win a battle. You can go up, or you even go side to side, or you can have him check back towards you if you're the throwing quarterback, if you're Aston Hewitt. What a weapon, and he has his team here on the doorstep looking to strike first as the second quarter set to get underway here at a cloudy and breezy, gusty Clark Stadium.
Again, clouds meant to kind of roll in. Was hoping to see a little bit more of the sun. So was the forecast, I believe. Meant to cloud over at about 6. Threat of rain at about 8 o'clock tonight. So we should stay dry for this one. Second quarter ready to get underway here. Hewitt has Butcher in the backfield. 3 receivers to the wide side, the near side of your screen. Heath is up top. Hewitt to the end zone, just a little bit too far. Wanted Jay Summers there, just overthrew him.
Simple post route from Summers on that particular play, trying to find him in the corner of the end zone. He would just put a little too much on that throw. Not much end zone to work with in American football rules. In Canadian football, you got an extra couple of feet there. Our end zones are bigger here in Canada, but on these, as you can see, the way that the American hash marks are laid out inside of the bigger field, but not enough room on that throw from Hewitt.
Second down now. Australia can get a first down without scoring if they get inside the 2. So again, Hewitt has Butcher as the lone tailback. Same formation here. Hewitt again trying the same play for Summers. That one's knocked away. Nice defense by Affray. He's been really good on the corner so far for Panama.
Having easily the best game on the Panama side, no question about it. He plays special teams, plays defense. and he was right there on the exact same play to knock it down. It was going out of bounds anyway, but there was no room. And that's where I think Panama's got to play these larger, higher Australian defenders. They got to play in front of them, not behind them. If they get behind them, they're going to get victimized by throws that go up vertically. If they stay in front of them, they can knock them down, keep the play, get some space, and keep the play out ahead of them.
So now a third down opportunity here for Australia. Can this Panama defense stiffen up one more time? The tailback is Eastwood. 3 to this near side, Heath up top. Hewitt, flag immediately thrown. TJ, you spotted that one immediately.
Whole left side move, but I think they're going to call Ben Cirillo with this one. Left side just a little ahead of the gun.
False start. Offense number 76, 5-yard penalty, still third down.
Yeah, that's it. That's Ben Cirillo with the being nabbed. But honestly, it was him and the tackle caught there as they were trying to get out and get ahead on the run defense.
So that'll move Australia back 5 yards. 3rd and 15 from the 17-yard line. And Australia can ill afford to go too much farther back lest they knock themselves out of field goal range here. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of play call they come up with. Hewitt takes the snap. He looks for Heath. Up for the grabs, and it's going to be knocked away. Do they call pass interference here, perhaps? The defender there was 21, Eduardo Vergara. Looked like a 50-50 ball to me, but the officials saw it differently as we take another look on the replay.
I thought Vergara got there bang, bang. And what a great job to fight with him, too, all the way up. I didn't see much there, and that'd be a tough call here to make on 3rd and 15 at this point in the game.
Pass interference. Defense number 21, 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
What a big call here. That hurts Panama. And it's a huge call for Australia. We'll give them a fresh set of downs at the 2-yard line.
Seen less, seen more for sure, but that's a tough call for Panama. And now they got to strap in, bear down, come up with 3 more stops.
Australia have a couple of backs in here. They've got Eastwood. They've also got Lennox Samoa, bigger back, number 22. He'll now split out, kind of play a tight end type of role. Now we'll switch sides. Hewitt, play clock running out. They do get it off. They pitch it out. Eastwood got the corner. And I don't think he got in. Yes, he did. Reached over the goal line. Touchdown, Australia.
Hewitt in the offense had Panama guessing on which way this run was going to go. You're going to see the linebackers shoot the middle. Eastwood slow here, hobbled. He's going to go down. I think he might have twisted his ankle diving for that post. Another look at it. Look at the linebacker shoot here. He threw here in the middle. And already Eastwood was gone. The reason why I didn't think he was through, Grayson, because I saw him tuck the ball close to his chest before he went down, but he must have rolled over.
It was the second effort. He got hit first by Giancarlo Falcon, bounced off him, and then found his way into the end zone after that. Unfortunately, paid a bit of a price for it as he's still down getting some attention here. The Australian athletic trainer is Beth Cates. And he looks frustrated. But he has put his team in front here early in the second quarter, 6-0.
And if Eastwood is out, that means we'll see Butcher more for the rest of this first half, carrying the ball as Australia has kept it in large part on the ground where they've had some success. Eastwood's had a good first half. But thanks to the penalty, the PI, on 3rd down, Australia is able to punch it in and grab the early lead.
That really was the defining call of the drive, or the defining play, I guess, was that pass interference that was called on Panama, right basically at the 2-yard line there. Eastwood just has stood up now, but still in some difficulty here. He's actually going to get some assistance to get leaned on here as he tries to walk this one off.
Eastwood's being helped off the field. You know, going back to that PI, Grace, one of the challenging things if you're on defense, especially the way that this game has unfolded and with some of the size mismatches, if you're Panama, you're sitting here, you're going, what's the line? How much can I battle when we go up in the air? And it looks like from what we saw on the Heath completion in the first quarter was we'll let you hand battle if the ball's not up. When the ball's coming in and you're battling up in the air, that's going to be a flag. So that's something that Panama on the sideline with their coaches are going to have to talk about. What can we get away with? What are they going to allow? Because we can't afford to take a penalty in the red zone like that. They're going to punch it in. So lots learned from Panama, and they battled all the way down the field, and now they find themselves behind, and Christian Restrepo in that offense is going to have to respond.
Taking care of the kicking here is Harrison Pratt for the Aussies, as he looks to add the extra point on the convert. Field will hold. And they're going to punch that one through. Makes it 7-0 for Australia.
7-0 it is. Restrepo's going to get the ball back here for the first time in the second quarter. And Panama's had some success getting these speedy receivers and running backs out into the flats with a little room to run, swing out plays, some hitches, get a little rhythm into this offense. Good time for a response drive and seize back the momentum.
Saw this again, I mentioned it against the United States, a lot of short plays, and then they did hit them over the top. A long touchdown pass to Saldivar, so you got to keep your eye on number 1 as well when he's out there receiving. Back to return this kick, the running back Chamorro, and also Del Castillo, as mentioned. He's got some speed.
Yeah, he's got wheels. It'd be fun to see him take one back right here for them.
DeBrouwer will handle the kickoff for Australia. Checks with his mates. Everyone's good. DeBrouwer kicks it off. And this one goes to Del Castillo. Picks it up low off the ground. Tries to get around the edge. Still Del Castillo. Tried to cut back up the middle. Did get over the 35, so a decent return here for Panama.
Boy, is he quick.
Yep.
I honestly thought maybe he had the outside there for a half a second. He decided to cut it back up the left side and ran into some traffic. But look at him start to get going there. He head up, he knows. Took a good hit down low and kept moving too. But, boy, if you're kicking off, you're going to want to keep it away from number 11.
Panama huddling up here. Quarterback Christian Restrepo. Angel Chamorro is his running back. 3 receivers kind of bunched up here on the near side. Fake the handoff, and he is looking here, trying to connect with Saldivar. Picked off! Interception, and Saldivar knocked the ball away, and it goes out of bounds. And so this one will stay with Australia. The interception was by Xavier Kieran, the big cornerback. Now, will they give Kieran the catch here? Will they say that he was knocked out of his hands before the catch was completed? This will be an interesting call.
Restrepo's ball's underthrown just a little bit. Easy for Kieran to step in, and I don't know. It's going to be a close call. Another
Result of the play is a first down, Australia.
They will indeed get it.
Just had it long enough.
He did just have it long enough, and that's an interception and another turnover by Panama. Restrepo, just the ball underthrown just a hair, and Kieran's able to pick it off.
So a couple of turnovers now for Panama, and a defense that was out there for a little while has got to turn around and go back out on the field, so not much rest for this group, as Australia will start from their own 37-yard line.
Yeah, that's a good point, Grayson. That last Australian drive was a long one, so this is a tired Panama defense.
Butcher's the running back for Hewitt. Couple receivers either side. Hewitt fakes. Now he wants to go long, looking for Phillips, and again, well defended by Carlos Afre. Doesn't seem like he can get anything by him right now.
He's been very impressive. And again, keeping the play in front of him. I think he knows he can run down any Australian receiver with how speedy he is, but he made a great play. Hewitt looked to his right, thought twice about it, but let her fly again. And in that case, Hewitt missed long again, too. So he's been overthrowing the ball a bit.
Second down now for the Aussies. Heath is on the near side. 3 receivers to the wide side. And somebody go early?
I think so.
Looks like a false start here.
False start. Offense number 2. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
I don't think Heath was lined up properly.
So that'll push Australia back a little bit further, brings up 2nd and 15. This feels like a big series for Panama, especially now with that penalty. If they can get out of here in 2 plays, I think they'd be pretty happy after giving up that interception. Hewitt out of the gun. Butchers the running back. Hewitt, quick hitter to Heath. Wrapped up immediately. Back to the original line of scrimmage, and guess who's there? It's Carlos Afre.
Good protection from Afre, who had Heath out in front of him, watching him closely. This is a great shot here over the shoulder of Afre. You can see Hewitt looking to Heath the whole way. Good ball that time from Hewitt, right on the money. Afre swarms and tackle, and you got to watch if you're Australia when you're bringing the ball in. Panama hands getting in there, trying to knock something loose, force turnover.
3rd and 10 for the Aussies now. Hewitt dropping back, sending one up for Heath again, but that one's out of bounds. Feels like sometimes the play is just Heath runs, and I'll just throw it up high and hope that we can connect.
Yeah, and at what point do they maybe go away from it? Because clearly that side of the field's not open. They're starting the route maybe a little bit too late, or they're starting it a little too close to the sideline, and it's running out of bounds too soon. We saw it down in the end zone in the last sequence. We saw it here a couple of times on this drive. So Brewster and company is going to have to think about changing up their route selection to open up this field.
Jay Summers, the punter, watch the Aussie rules run around here. And he does boot it high. And this one is going to be a little bit short. Landed right on the sideline here. So start at the 33, Panama will. But a big defensive stop for Panama after that interception. Didn't allow Australia to take advantage of it. Got off the field quickly.
Yeah, we'll see how that impacts the confidence of this young quarterback, Christian Restrepo. He stood in there. It wasn't his best throw. I know you didn't want to have that back. But now his team needs him. You're down 7. Second chance of the second quarter. You got to build something, put something together right here.
2 receivers either side. They're running back Chamorro. And it's a quick hitter to Saldivar. And that one will get a couple of yards. Positive, though, on first down for Panama. Not a big gain.
Positive indeed, Grayson. And this throw takes more accuracy than it seems from where we're standing up here. He actually threw that low through his line and past another receiver who was kind of in the territory. That's a tough throw to make. So you got a completion. You're back off the schneid here, and you get your team moving in the right direction.
2nd and 8 now for Panama. Similar formation here with 2 receivers either side. Chamorro just to the right of the quarterback, Restrepo. Fakes the handoff. Restrepo feels the heat. Just slides down. That'll be a loss of about 3 or 4 here for Panama, but Restrepo just wanted to live to fight another day that time.
He has made plays with his legs before, and sometimes when you feel the heat, you take off, and it's a good evasive decision. Sometimes when you feel that the pocket is collapsing, you'll just take off instantly, instinctively. You think you don't have enough time. He did have Bilbao available in the middle of the field, and I think you want to see Restrepo stand in there and let one fly. Now a tough 3rd and long.
And it looks like Panama wants to take a timeout here. I'm not sure if maybe there was some confusion with the play or some personnel, but that's the 2nd timeout that Panama has already burned here in this first half, and we're just past the 9-minute mark of the second quarter. So they'll be able to take a moment and get themselves sorted there. Hunter Harris won with the water bottles for Australia, got hurt in that first game. but good to see him still on the sidelines, helping out in any way he can. Panama's got to try to figure out how to get this offense going. Had a couple of positive drives in that first quarter, but Australia seems to have figured them out a little bit here.
Yeah, that's true. Figured them out, and I think started to get the matchups that they wanted. They realized that they were vulnerable in the middle of the field, kind of out towards the flats a little bit, so they need to add a different kind of look defensively and play a little bit more zone so they can get the right guys in the right positions to stop the speed, to cut the speed off. You can't speed ain't quick in tight spaces, so you got to take away that space.
Let's see what Panama does on this 3rd and long, 3rd and 12 to be specific. Restrepo dropping back, looks like a screen set up here, and it's caught by Anderson. Makes a move, Anderson close to a first down. Not sure he quite got there, but great effort. It will depend on the spot.
You see Restrepo was already backing up as the ball came out of the center, setting up the screen, and there was more than enough room for Anderson to try to make a play. I think he's going to be just short, though. Or are they giving it to him?
Well, they've given it to him. Just enough for the first down. That's a big play for Panama.
This officiating crew's got me guessing, Grayson. Sometimes they measure, sometimes they don't. But I trust them on this one. Big first down for Panama. Great call, I think.
So, fresh set of downs for the Panamanians at the 44-yard line, their own 44. Restrepo with 2 backs, 2 receivers near side, 1 to the far side. And the handoff here is to Lloyd. Lloyd trying to get around the edge, but he's struck down by Kieran. And a flag was thrown a little bit further behind. It's kind of in that neighborhood of holding, isn't it?
Yeah, I think you're right. And it came in pretty late, but you saw the tug right there. That's number 50, Carlos Fernandez.
Wait for the call from Mateus Ketteringer.
Offense, number 50, 10-yard penalty, first down.
So just like that, Panama will have to go back 10 yards. Still first down, though, so no real reason to panic yet on 1st and 20, but you need to get a chunk of it back here.
These penalties and these timeouts, this kills a team that's built on speed. It's stop, it's start, clock stops moving. They can't get a rhythm, and seeing Panama struggle to get moving in the right direction. But they got 1st and 20 here after the holding penalty. They need a good throw from Restrepo or release some speed.
I wonder if they'll try that screen play again at some time since it works so well. Here's a quick hitter, Saldivar. And Saldivar is going to get back to close to the original line of scrimmage. So that's exactly what you're looking for on 1st and 20.
Restrepo kind of stepped awkwardly with that throw. It looked like he led with the wrong plant foot. And we'll get another look at the play here. Watch him kind of throw it off the left foot when you want him to take a couple of steps and make that play. But it looked like, due to the handling of the snap, a bit of a struggle with timing. Made the play, got the yardage from the penalty back, and then they could build off that.
So 2nd and 10 for Panama. Restrepo hands this one off quickly. Chamorro rumbling ahead. He'll pick up 6. That'll put it 3rd and manageable for Panama.
Sneaky Chamorro kind of snuck through the line a little bit, slipped through right there, quick step to the right side, finding the hole and getting a chunk.
Having seen Panama now for a game and almost a half, that's probably the cleanest quick snap, quick handoff, running back darting right up the middle that I've seen from them. And it resulted in a gain of 6. Setting up 3rd and 4 from midfield. They go to Chamorro again, and it's a first down and another quick handoff play as Panama starting to rumble a little bit here on the ground.
Great job by Panama, starting to figure things out a little bit here offensively. You got a block from the fullback right there out in front, the guard pulling 66. That's Daniel Vega getting over there and throwing his weight around. So now Panama's got things cooking.
They're at the Australian 42 for this first down. Things moving along now after a slow start to this second quarter. Chamorro again, he bounced off the line and falls forward. Should be right back at the line of scrimmage for no gain.
Good penetration that time from Xavier Harper. Getting in the running lane. Forcing Chamorro to the outside. Bringing him down quickly, no gain. Second down.
See what Restrepo and company come up with this time. A couple receivers to this near side as well as another back. And there was all sorts of something happening there, and Australia's got this. It was just a missed snap, and Chinaza Iloka able to come up with a loose ball, and now a flag is thrown. So what has gone on here? That was just a strange play all around. It never really got going.
I'm not sure if maybe it was supposed to be a direct snap to a running back.
Illegal snap. Offense number 50. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
Let's take another look. This is where the ball was recovered, but the center there, Carlos Fernandez, is called for an illegal snap. So it will stay with Panama. We'll just move him back 5 yards. 2nd and 15.
Yeah, I'm not sure, because the way it looked for me, and our replay unfortunately didn't show us where the ball was, but the way it looked for me live, Grayson, was that it hit him sort of himself in like the right part of his backside. Like he hit himself in the right side. So maybe he was trying to snap it direct. Not sure. It calls a legal snap, so Panama gets a break.
That's a high snap, and again, all sorts of movement from Panama, and it's going to be a false start.
The false start's going to be the call, and frustration seeping in on the Panama side here.
Illegal snap. Offense number 50. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
Well, they called it another illegal snap now, so Fernandez has got to get things sorted out with his quarterback, Restrepo.
And Restrepo ran over to the sideline. I'm not sure if he was talking to the offensive coordinator, Raul Orsamina, but they got to get this thing sorted out here.
It's now it's 2nd and 21. It's a long way to go for Panama. And they'll hand this one off. Anderson trying to follow his blocker, and he stopped right at midfield. A gain of about 2 there, but this still will be 3rd and a long ways to go.
Great play by Matthew Hall on defense coming up from the safety position to make this tackle. Reading run all the way. Here he comes flying in, grabbing Anderson by the leg, bringing him down, and limiting that gain there on 2nd down.
So Panama's got to do something here on 3rd down. Put the ball in the air. We haven't seen them go long yet. Certainly have some speedy weapons we've talked about. Likes of Saldivar, Bilbao. And they'll try a little sweep here. They get it in the hands of Saldivar, trying to open up some space, and he runs right into Kieran, who takes him down at around the original line of scrimmage. There is a flag on the field, though, so we'll have to wait and see what that's for. A couple of them, actually.
Yeah, a few flags out on the field. We'll have to see what the call is. Another good tackle in space by Xavier Kieran. Important player for Australia defensively. Let's see what this call is.
Maybe before we get to the call, you don't often see players of Kieran's size out on the corner, but what a weapon he is. So again, Mateus Ketteringer just trying to get things sorted here. There might be multiple fouls. One of the officials has his notepad out, which is usually an indication that there's more than one penalty. They are speaking with the Australian sideline, though, so might be against Panama here. Let's get that call.
Illegal block in the back. Offense number 17. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Play 3rd down.
So an illegal block there. And that's from the spot of the foul. So where will they mark this?
Official called 10-yard penalty, I think, so he's going to just mark it off for 10. So illegal block is the call.
So now this is third and a really long way for Panama. They've got to get to the Australia 32, currently on their own 41.
Scoreboard says it's 18, but I think it's 28.
Just hasn't updated yet. And it's tied to our scoreboard too on your screen. So third and a country mile for Panama. And they'll just hand this off to Anderson. Anderson chugging along, but there's a lot of gold jerseys right there that he ran into. And so Australia does eventually get off the field here defensively.
It doesn't feel like a productive drive for Panama, though they're going to leave having reestablished some field position, but having pushed as far into Australia territory as they did, it's got to feel tough not to come up with any points. They're still within a score. They're definitely in this ball game, but they got a couple of things to clean up on the penalty side of things, especially with those illegal snaps. And just for you folks at home, that means the center's moving the ball before he snaps it. So
Del Castillo with that kick, and it's going to bounce backwards, going out of bounds at around the 31-yard line. And so that's where Australia will start from. Only 3:19 left in this first half. Aussies up by a touchdown.
And given the sputtering of the Panama offense and some of the discipline issues with the flags, this is an opportunity for Australia to grab this game by the scruff of its neck, and they can do it with the weapons they have out there. Ben Heath, obviously one of them. We'll keep an eye on him.
He's lined up at the bottom of your screen, the near side of the field for Aston Hewitt. Hewitt will hand this one off, and a gain there for Oscar Croxall, taken down hard by Gabriel Salgado. Picked up about 5, so he's second and about 5 here for Australia.
Plenty of time here for Australia to score some points. Salgado, tough tackle, leading with your shoulder into the lower body.
Hewitt, under duress, decides to pull it down, and he gets run into. Wrapped up Sebastian Calvo. Short gain. Well, maybe just back to the line of scrimmage. We'll see where they exactly mark it. Now they're going to give them nothing. Right back to where they started.
Yeah, not much for Hewitt as the play broke down fairly quickly. And Hewitt's going to want to start maybe thinking about sliding. Look at this high tackle from Calvo.
3rd and 5. Australian offense moving quick. Picked off! That one's intercepted. Giancarlo Falcone, but there is a flag. So hold on. Don't celebrate too hard yet. Panama indicating, though, it is against Australia. Of course, that might just be wishful thinking.
I think I saw the official point, too, so I think it is wishful, but I might think it's right here.
Holding. Offense number 76. The penalties declined. The result of the play is interception. First down.
What a big play for Panama defensively as Falcone comes up with the pick.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was an illegal chop block or if it was a hold. Flag came out right as I looked back at the line and they'd already had fallen over. But what a huge momentum swing here for this Panama unit, getting the ball back and an opportunity for Christian Restrepo to make something positive happen here before the end of the half.
They're already inside Australian territory at the 45-yard line. Restrepo, empty backfield here. Quick swings it out to Lloyd. Lloyd, not much more than the line of scrimmage. And there's Kieran again to make the tackle.
Let's see. Raul Di Castillo was out blocking, and I think he thought he had that corner sealed. He didn't. If you're Panama here, you want Restrepo delivering that ball with authority, snapping it off out there, giving his running backs time to race. So just a hair off on that last play.
Might be something similar here with an empty backfield again. Restrepo quickly out. That one's caught. Del Castillo trying to spin away. Gets over the 40, not much further. Another positive play for Panama. Will bring up 3rd and 4.
Del Castillo getting out of bounds means the clock stops. Still plenty of time here for Panama to get into scoring position. Castillo, hard plant, pushes off with that left foot to get around the initial tackle, getting an extra couple of yards before smartly getting out of bounds.
100 seconds left in this opening half. Big play here for Panama. Can they keep the chains moving here? Get some points before the break. Restrepo. He'll look a little longer this time. Bobbled and caught. Bilbao makes the catch. First catch for him in this game.
What a catch by Juan Pablo Bilbao. Bobbling it on the way down. Defender strapped all over him, and he brings in this completion. I also like what I see. Look, watch Restrepo here, just kind of a little up and under.
Panama going no huddle here, and they quickly zip it out to Lloyd. And Lloyd will pick up a few yards, but we do have a flag on the play. It's a gain of about 6, but we'll wait and see what the penalty is.
Restrepo keeping the Panama offense moving, trying to force the issue. They still got plenty of time, but we'll see if this penalty marches them back anymore. They're going to line up getting ready to go right off the call anyway.
Officials really taking their time to discuss this thing. Panama want to keep things moving here, hurry up style.
Holding, defense number 1. 10-yard penalty, first down.
So a defensive holding call there on James Henneke, the defensive back. So that's a first down for Panama now. And the ball will be placed at the 22-yard line.
That interception has really swung momentum. Things are moving behind the sails of Panama, and they get another call go their way there.
Restrepo has Anderson next to him in the backfield. Couple receivers either side. Restrepo quickly out, caught by Saldivar, short of the first down as he stepped out of bounds. And so it'll be 2nd and 1 from the 14-yard line. Oh, they moved it up close to the 13. Might be enough for a first.
Yeah, good spot. You're right, Grayson. Best throw of the afternoon from Restrepo for me, for my money. Right on the money to Saldivar, in motion, easy 9 yards. Panama's in scoring position.
Minute 19 left, 2nd and 1. Do you maybe look to the end zone here?
Not a bad time to think about it.
Saldivar looking to the sideline. Had 20 seconds left on the play clock, but
Panama, it's their second team timeout.
Panama's taken another timeout here. Their second. Maybe just not quite sure of the play there, because there was certainly more than enough time on the clock with 20 seconds left.
Yeah, often a quarterback will call a timeout in that situation. I mean, at this level, you know, the youth football, usually the quarterback doesn't have that much authority to read a defense and decide if they have the right personnel or not. But in this instance, Restrepo's done this twice now this afternoon. Doesn't like what he sees, calls the timeout, gives his coaches an opportunity to change the play, get the right folks out there. You know, maybe in that instance they did want to go deep into the end zone and they saw a cover 2 or they saw something where the end zone was taken away. So he was like, no, let's call this off. We got a timeout. We got timeouts to work with. Let's get it moving because only a couple of yards gets you a fresh set of downs. They're already in the red zone. You know, they're managing the clock and the field. So I don't mind that timeout from Restrepo.
So everyone back out on the field now. Restrepo checks the playbook on the arm. Australian fans making some noise. Fake handoff. Restrepo flushed out of the pocket. He's going to run himself. Restrepo knows where the marker is, and he gets out. First down, Panama. In fact, it's going to be 1st and goal from the 9.
Francisco Saldivar was wide open in the end zone, but before he could be seen by Restrepo, Kobe Giles was in the backfield, big Kobe Giles, closing off that left wall. No chance to get a throw out there, and it's too bad because Saldivar was wide open. There was some confusion in the secondary level. Players ran into each other, so maybe see a little more misdirection from this Panama receiving corps to open up those spaces.
So again, first and goal for Panama. Minute and 11 seconds left. Restrepo rolling again to his right. Lobs one up. And a diving effort. Would have been well out of bounds anyway. Del Castillo trying to come up with that, but a missed play on first down for Panama.
And that's exactly what I was talking about. Panama went trips right, overloaded the right side, brought a ton of traffic into a sort of congested knot right around the end zone goal line, and then allowed Restrepo to say, which one of you's free? Unfortunately, there wasn't really enough room to make that play, and he tried to thread the needle. So tough run and throw, but the right idea. I think Panama's unlocked something here.
And Restrepo has certainly shown that he can be mobile, can throw on the run, take off if he needs to. Again, they'll trip to that right side, the wide side of the field this time. Fake a handoff, fake a throw. Now he's wrapped up, and he will go down. Chinaza Iloka once again. That's a big loss for Panama. Takes them back to the 14, and they want to go quickly again. Clock is running here. Third down and goal. Snapped it to Restrepo. Quickly out to Lloyd. Lloyd is met right there, and a tackle is made, but that one seemingly stung the tackler. Didn't catch the number there. And so some attention required here.
I thought it was Xavier Kieran over there pulling Lloyd down on top of him.
That's exactly right. It is Kieran. That's a big part of the Australian defense. But he's popped up. Maybe just needed a minute to gather his thoughts. Maybe the player landing on his chest kind of took some of the air out of him.
Yeah, getting the wind knocked out of you or a stinger. That'll knock you down for a couple of minutes. But Kieran looks okay. He'll have to take a play or two off here, get his breath back, and this must be field goal time for this Panama unit if they got a kicker who can hit one from here.
This one's at the 9, so the original line of scrimmage, and the offense stays on the field here. It's fourth and goal. Now, will this just be a decoy play, or will they snap it? They do snap it. Restrepo, he is flushed out. Some room, he throws it up, end zone, in between two players, and it falls harmlessly to the turf, and that is a tough break for Panama here in the final minute of the first half. They'll come away with an empty drive.
That's about the best you can ask for in that situation. Restrepo once again extending a play with his feet, flinging one deep into the end zone. He had two guys there, couldn't find either one. And Panama electing not to kick will leave the half without any points.
Don't really have a true kicker on their roster, at least not listed anyway. And I think that sometimes that plays into that sort of decision. And I guess worst case, now you've got Australia 25.6 on the clock, backed up inside their own 10-yard line. What will Hewitt do here? Will he be conservative, or will they try something? And a timeout's going to be taken by Australia to think about it a little bit more.
Yeah, I'm surprised they maybe aren't just kneeling this one out. They're 85 yards or 91 yards here away from pay dirt, so they need something exciting to happen. You know, going back to that kick, you know, if they don't have a true place kicker, that's a 26-yarder. You know, I'm sure Panama's got some soccer players on this team that
probably right.
That could hit a 26-yarder. But electing to not, you know, maybe this is a game where the Panama coaching staff says, we only win with majors. You know, we only win with sevens. If we get threes, that's not going to help us out a lot. So maybe we don't have a natural kicker who can do this. We're not going to horse around. Let's just try to punch it in. Aggressive calls this afternoon on both sides. But, yeah, if it's me, I think I send out my best soccer player to kick a 26-yarder. Go ahead, give it a shot.
To be fair, they didn't convert either convert against the United States either. So, might be some of that.
Closer, yeah, you're right.
The Brazilian team was here watching, and they got a nice round of applause from the Australian fans. They've been outstanding, these Australian fans who've been here making plenty of noise, cheering on everybody. Hewitt, he wants to take a shot. He launches it long, and that one's knocked down. Double coverage there on Heath, and I would certainly put two guys on him on that sort of situation. We had Alexander Araujo and Eduardo Vergara defending.
Here's one of the risks of taking a shot late in the half. I mean, he was under double coverage, tough catch to come down with anyway. But Hewitt took a late hit, and that's going to result in an added penalty. It's going to push them forward a little bit. 18.6 seconds left in the half. Still, you're playing with a little bit of fire. You're gonna, there's not much you can do in this situation, but the big personal foul penalty will march them up the field a little bit. But you're risking injury in these types of situations, Grayson, and asking your players to stand in there and take shots like that sometimes.
Yeah, you said that Hewitt took that late hit resulting in the penalty, and that's maybe one unnecessary hit on your quarterback that you don't necessarily need, but they also have Isaac Woodhouse, and maybe the plan is for him to play in the second half anyway, so maybe this is Hewitt's last kick at the can. Fakes a handoff, and he wants to go long again, throws it up, and that's up for grabs, and nobody's going to come up with it. Looking for Phillips. Affrey was actually the closest man to it.
That ball was so high that I think it maybe got caught in the wind.
Yeah.
It got knocked down. It was a big looping rainbow from Aston Hewitt, letting it fly. And if this is his last sequence here in this game this afternoon, then yeah, let it loose. Let's see what kind of arm you got, kid.
So it is a second down now for Australia. 12.6 left in the half. That first quarter just absolutely flew by. And the second quarter is taking quite a bit longer. A lot more passes.
on the play.
Illegal block in the back. Offense number 62. 10-yard penalty. Replay first down.
This is going to push Australia back 10 more yards and force a first and long situation. Aston Hewitt with the keepers trying to keep the Panama defense going, and he does. He sells that handoff really well at the point of exchange.
William Moore was the guilty party that time around. First and 20 for Australia as they're back on their own side of half now. Hewitt fakes one way, look the other way. That one's knocked down. Nice play. Rodney Collado again, who almost had Hewitt in the backfield last time, gets his hands on that attempted pass.
If you've watched an NFL broadcast at any point in the last 100 years, they're going to tell you that the battle is won in the trenches. And right now, Rodney Collado is winning that battle for Panama. He put pressure on Hewitt before, and he jumped up and knocked that pass down with authority. Tide turns in the trenches, score changes in the game. Panama's starting to show up here in the second half.
Second and 20 for Australia. Hewitt has Croxall as the back. Now some of the receivers are going to move around. Looked like there might have been some confusion there. Now they got two either side. Hewitt quickly out. Phillips will catch and get back to the original line of scrimmage. Makes it 3rd and 10 for Australia.
Phillips was wide open on that play because Panama brought a little bit of pressure from the right side. Australia picked it up. Hewitt lots of time. Step, deliver. Nice catch. Good throw. And Australia is dealing with a much more manageable 3rd down scenario.
Ball is back on the Panamanian side of the field too. So if they do wind up having to punt it away, they should be able to pin their opponents deep. Not thinking about that yet, though. Still got it down to play with. Hewitt, 3 to the wide side, the near side of your screen. That's the direction he'll roll. To his right, pitches it out. Field has it. Not a lot of running room as he is shoved out of bounds. Got about half the distance needed. So interesting decision time here for head coach Mitchell Wallner and the OC Connor Brewster for Australia.
They have been aggressive earlier in the game. I don't suspect them to change much. I haven't seen a personnel change march out there either. Again, Hewitt had me guessing, oh, now here comes, it looks like the special team unit's going to come trotting out there for a punt instead. Hewitt, I thought, was going to keep on that option. So I thought he was going to stay with the ball. He flipped it out the field for a couple extra yards, but it isn't going to be enough, and Australia is forced to punt.
Falcone is deep for Panama as Summers lets it fly. That's an end-over-end high ball, and Falcone does the smart thing and just kind of smothers it, takes it where it is. And so a long field here for Panama. They'll scrimmage, looks like from their own 16-yard line.
Summers doesn't get the ball very deep, but he gets tons of hang time on his punts, and if he keeps them in bounds, not much option for the special teams returners other than to call fair catch or to smother it. And Panama backed up a little bit to start. Not great field position, and we get our first look at this half of Christian Restrepo.
Looks like a Aussie rules kick there, looking for somebody to take a mark.
Yeah.
So Restrepo has Chamorro, as his running back, and that's where the ball goes. He follows his blocker, got a hole. Chamorro, can he get by the last defender? No, he can't. Might be a touchdown saving tackle there from Hull, and it's going to be awfully close to a first down.
Touchdown saving tackle, you're right. And that may sound funny from that deep in their own zone, but Chamorro was off to the races. Look at this. He's going to have two big blockers. Fill your screen right there. Block one, block two, and away he goes. Hull, the safety, pulling him down by the shoestrings just in time.
Gain of 9 for Chamorro. 2nd and 1 for Panama. And this time they'll hand it off to Koenig, the normally a linebacker. We saw him at fullback a little bit in the last game, and he's going to get a nice gain on the ground too. However, there is a flag, so we'll have to wait and see. Koenig just certainly gives the Panama backfield a little bit of a different look, a lot more of a power runner than maybe some of the shiftier backs. It's going to be a holding call here on Panama, so we'll bring that one back.
Offense, 66. 10-yard penalty, replay second down.
Daniel Vega, the guilty party there. So unfortunately, that wipes up that good first down gain, and you're looking at 2nd and 11.
Yeah, and it unfortunately wipes out a really artful run from Koenig, who stayed sort of off balance on his right side and kind of slid up the field. It was a unique look and a great gain for Panama, but unfortunately, again, they got into a little bit of penalty trouble in the second quarter. You know, I was down near the Panama room, could hear them talking about it in Spanish. I don't speak Spanish, but I think they were talking about cleaning up the penalties, Grayson, and unfortunately that hasn't translated here yet.
Handoff again for Koenig, slips by one, and then he runs into, looks like Hull there, who finished him off, but another solid gain out of the backfield for Panama. And they'll be close to a first down. 3rd and 2, it looks like.
Yeah, Koenig likes to get moving in a downward angle, and he's tough to bring down. It took a few Australian defenders to swarm up and put a stop to that, but that's an offensive weapon running with a defensive mentality, Grayson. That's what that looks like.
The back now is Lloyd. So a different look for Panama. He's speedy, and they want to get it into his hands, try to get around the edge. Lloyd has the first down and a little bit more up close to the 35-yard line, and a fresh set of downs for Panama, who are just kind of nickel and diming their way right now down the field.
I love what they're doing with their blocking packages. This time, sweep out to the right side with 3 blockers out in front. Get some blocks, let your speed demons eat up the field, and that's what they did there. Good first down. Starting to establish some rhythm. They got a little close to getting a rhythm in the first half, and they do it with speed and tempo.
Notice the Australian secondary has been crashing and playing quite shallow. I wonder if Panama's noticed that and would think about taking a shot. Instead, they hand it off again, as that's not broken, so don't fix it. Chamorro will pick up about 7 more yards here for Panama. Great gain on first down.
We saw the Tides in the trenches swing defensively for Panama. They're starting to move a little bit offensively to great push from the front line. Little delay. It wasn't a draw run traditionally. It was still off tackle, but little delay on the handoff. Let that seam open up tomorrow. Big run. And now in business here on 2nd and short.
Another handoff for Lloyd, trying to follow his blockers, bounces to the outside, cuts back up the middle, and is tackled just shy of midfield. Another first down for Panama as the run game has really taken over here.
It's Chamorro to the right, Lloyd to the left, then it's Lloyd to the right, Chamorro to the left. They're mixing and matching, changing directions. And on that particular carry, Lloyd got Hull to bite hard on a hard step, hard break right. Didn't have the replay there for you. I had it timed up perfectly, Grayson. Had we had a replay, I would have been right on it. And another big gain, first down for Panama.
Australian fans trying to encourage their defense. Oh, a tricky little play there. Hand it off to Saldivar, pardon me. Flag on the field anyway. So this might be all for naught. We'll have to wait and see.
I think they're going to get Bilbao for holding, which should negate the gain and push them back for a first and long. But, yeah, a little bit of trickery, some creativity in play. Well, they're calling offside, looks like, pointing to Panama. Not the hold that I saw. They don't catch them all.
Yeah, looks like a false start. That was the indication. Yeah, they keep making the signal, so he's just got to announce it now. Just confirming.
Illegal formation. Offense, 5 men in the backfield. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Okay, so not a false start, but 5 men in the backfield there. An interesting call.
There was a lot of movement back there. They were trying something a little different and didn't have the right setup. So, again, another couple of plays in the right direction, then a penalty. This is a stop and start situation for Panama's got to be frustrating for that coaching staff.
Quick update from Commonwealth in the semifinal between Austria and Canada 1. Austria has a 14-7 lead through the first quarter at Commonwealth. Restrepo faked the handoff, zips it out to Saldivar, makes one man miss. Well, he didn't. What a play there by Barsic to hold on and drag him back right at around the original line of scrimmage, a little bit further across to the 49 of Australia.
And one of the differences between, pro ball, college ball, and youth ball is, the strength of the hands. When you watch pro ball, you got men out there pulling guys down. You look at this play by Barsic, just holding on for dear life right there, pulling him down by the jersey. That's iron hands right there from Matt Barsic.
Saldivar banging the turf in frustration. Knows if he would have got by him, he might have had a little bit more, close to a first down, but this is a 2nd and 8 for Panama, so certainly back into manageable territory here. Handoff for Koenig, and he gets swallowed up in the backfield. Big loss there.
Koenig, we told you, is traditionally a defensive player, and he wears a 0. In that instance, that's a bullseye. That entire defense saw him come in, substitute in the backfield, and teed off on the run. They weren't fooling anybody. They were ready to go, sniffed it out, and now a big 3rd and long for Christian Restrepo on this Panama offense.
George Lim among the Australian tacklers there. So 3rd and 11 is what they have this as. Panama need to get to the Australia 41. Restrepo wanted to throw quickly. Now he's in trouble. Gets away from one, flips it out, and a tackle is made. Number 34 for Australia, Ty Henry, with the stop, and that'll force a punt.
Koenig at the center of the action again, and this time his number's called, but he never turned around to pass. You see that? He's out there blocking. He never turned back to look for the throw. Restrepo had no choice but to run it. You're not going to get away from Xavier Kieran that easy that time. Thought he was going to be wrapped up there. The dump-off's not going anywhere, and a promising first possession in the second half fizzles out for Christian Restrepo and Panama.
Did get themselves some good field position, though. They started at their own 16, so getting it up to 44 will help as Heath awaits the punt. Somebody moved. Not a bad kick at all there from Del Castillo. Where's it going to go out? Oh, just inside the end zone, but of course there's a flag, so everybody just hold on for a second.
Australia jumped. I'm not sure if they'll make them kick it or if they'll want to kick it again or take the touchback. We'll see. Maybe they will kick it again, but yeah, Australia definitely jumped on the play.
I think that's the discussion. They're looking towards Panama, asking what they would like to do. And it looks like everybody's going to stay on the field, so they might just kick this again.
Yeah, why not? Try another coffin corner, try to pin them deep, kick it again, even better position. Really pin Australia deep. And then you got to look to your defense. You got to look to Panama's defense. Things seem to be shifting a little bit in that interior line. The battle's a little closer. Force a 3 and out.
Offside. Defense number 56. 5-yard penalty. We played it down.
I wonder if Del Castillo was able to get that one in that coffin corner if they would have just declined the penalty and said, good luck from your 2. That'll do it as well for the third quarter, so another speedy 12 minutes goes by. And again, no change on the scoreboard. Still 7-0 Australia in this tightly contested showdown. Winner will move on to play Canada 2 in the 5th place game. The loser will take on Brazil.
They're looking promising, and the Australians can grab a stranglehold on this game.
So as soon as Benjamin Kirleo realized that it was Gifford who was down, he immediately called for a football, did a couple practice snaps with Woodhouse, so he'll come in and play center for now. And again, Australia, this will be 3rd and 1. So a big play here for this Panama defense. Woodhouse, time's going to run out on the clock here. Just not quite sure of how much time was left on the play clock. And so a short 3rd and 1 will turn into a 3rd and 6, a little bit trickier of a conversion now.
17. 5 yard, still third down.
Australia has used timeouts to save downs in situations before when the play clock is running out, and that would have been the time to use one right there. It was 3rd and 1, now it's 3rd and 6, so that's a lot harder of a challenge for Woodhouse to solve.
So 3rd and 6 here for the Aussies. Panama defense needs a stop. Woodhouse with time and some miscommunication there. Nobody really in the neighborhood wanted to connect with Field, but he was a good 2-3 yards ahead of the throw.
He had Phillips down in the end zone, but I don't think that's where the play was going. It was always going underneath. It never fully developed. Nothing there for Isaac Woodhouse. And we are watching the snaps with the change of center. You see the Australians, they like to make their calls and their cadence with clapping and hard counts. So, we'll keep an eye on that for any handoffs, exchanges, or snaps you're going forward.
Offense staying on the field again in that gray area, too far for a field goal likely, and not really far enough away for a punt. So Woodhouse on 4th and 6 needs to get to the 21. Woodhouse, pressure coming, gets away from one, lobs it up, that one's caught. Summers, first down and more. Still Summers, and he's inside the 15. Big time 4th down conversion. Keeps things rolling for Australia.
Rolling through the line was Christopher Hertzfeld, big number 99. Woodhouse slips him, dumps it off to number 3, Jay Summers. Makes a good move, gets the first down. Great job by Woodhouse to extend the play. Looking a little more like Aston Hewitt on that play, giving Australia some more time with the ball, an opportunity to punch one in.
Summers getting some love on the sideline. That's a demoralizing play for this Panama defense. Can Australia convert? Really put this one away. Croxall's got a long way to run. Flag comes out, maybe a hold. I'll have to wait and see, but certainly in that neighborhood.
Yeah, Lennox Samoa's done such a good job blocking out in front, but this time he's going to put the wrap on, and that is going to get called every time. It's going to be a holding penalty. They're going to march this back. Samoa's been so good, though, all game long with blocking, creating space for his running backs.
A penalty, replay, first down.
But he got caught that time, got his hands around Calvo, and they're going to call that every time when it's out and around the shoulder pads, Grayson.
So this makes it 1st and 20 now for Australia as they've got to track back to their own, or the Panama 26-yard line. Gives them a little bit more field, I guess, to work with. As when you get down into the red zone there, all of a sudden the space is tightly contested. Look at this lineup for Australia. Everybody on the left side trying to just form a wall perhaps as they hand it off, but Panama standing tall, and we got a rugby scrum that breaks out. Big stop for Panama there on that run, and it'll be 2nd and about 19, maybe 20 if they got back to the line. Croxall was the ball carrier.
Big time stop from that Panama front line as the bodies continue to drop here. Another injured player on the turf. These are tough games, Grayson. It's warm out. It's 3 games in a short period of time. They're giving it all, heavy hits, and when you get a scrum like that, you often wind up with folks on the bottom of it. You get arms wrapped up. You get knees bent in the wrong direction. So we got another player down as they deal with it. But that felt like a really big stop. I know it was only first down, but it leads to a 2nd and 19, and that means that you probably already have the Australia offense thinking we need 2 plays to get the first down, which is much different when they're further up the field and they can say maybe we shoot the end zone, maybe we try to make a play out to the underneath. Now they know they got 2 plays to a first down, and maybe the end zone's out of the question. So that's a big stop for Panama.
Still obviously some work to do for this Panama defense who have been out there for a long time now. We're past the midway mark of this 4th quarter, and just based on the flow of this game, TJ, their points have been hard to come by. So Panama really need to get out of this without giving up anything. It's Miguel Vargas, the player who was down for Panama, but he gets up and he's going to walk this one off on his own steam, which is great to see.
Australia's definitely carried the time of possession. They were almost 2-1 to Panama in the first half, according to our stats back here, and have certainly carried about that same rate here in the second half. This, I don't know how many teams bargained for this much of a grind by the second game. Like this is a one-score game. They're battling it out in the trenches every game, and they're running the ball hard. So a little bit of an attrition moment here as we narrow in on 5 minutes to go in the game.
So 2nd and 20. So there was no gain there. And so from the 25, Woodhouse hands it off. Croxall, nowhere really to go. Picked up maybe 4, but that'll set up 3rd and still very long.
Speaking of attrition, you look over at the other sideline. I know you can't see the shot now, but you got little white helmets kind of sprinkled out over on the far side. You look on the near side, you got nothing but yellow jerseys all lined up. That means you got reserves, you got substitutions. And we know Panama players are playing both ways. That last time, caning came up a little slow. They've made some good stops here. It's a 3rd and long. They got to hang in there, keep battling.
Panama does have one of the smaller rosters at this event. What can Woodhouse conjure up here? A look at blitz, perhaps, that's picked up nicely by Australia. They'll look to the end zone and maybe just hit as he threw there. Looked like Lucas Monteforte maybe got home in time as Woodhouse got that away, and the throw was well behind the receivers.
If he wasn't home, he was on the doorstep coming in, because Woodhouse had to get away that throw a little earlier than I think he wanted to, and you're right, Monteforte had him almost pulled down, almost pulled in. Great job by the Panama defense here on this last 3 plays, and they got a chance to maybe get out of dodge here again.
Offense is going to stay on the field, so no interest in a field goal. It's 4th and 14. I guess if you turn it over here, you just consider it a punt. Trust in your defense, which has been perfect. Woodhouse, time, lofts it up. What a catch! And field is in! Touchdown, Australia! Mason Field, big time snag, and that might just do it in this game.
In big moments, you need your best players to stand up, and that was either going to be number 2, Ben Heath, or our man right here, number 9, Mason Field, who's going to get in for 6. Look at Woodhouse stand in the pocket. We mentioned he is a traditional passer. He lets the pocket form, doesn't panic, gets the throw away. Field makes a nice one-handed catch on the run. Maybe just a little bit of fatigue creeping in. The longer the receivers ran around out there, the less likely the Panama secondary was able to hang with him. Field shakes loose. It's 6 for Australia, and if they hit this extra point, they put themselves 2 scores clear.
Got to give some love for that Australian offensive line. They gave Woodhouse all day to get that ball off, and a little chip shot just gets over the bar from Harrison Pratt, and maybe that's an example of why they've decided not to go for field goals.
Yeah, we just saw why we haven't seen a lot of kicking today. He got it over, though, right? In
That's
the box
all that
score.
counts.
When he gets back to the Gold Coast, he's going to tell them, now it hit the stands, guys.
Yeah.
Right through.
That's a massive touchdown for Australia to make it 14-0. 4 minutes and 11 seconds left to go. And from what we've seen with this Panama offense, everything has been short. Now they've got to stretch a little bit. I'm just interested to see how this is going to play out with Restrepo as the quarterback and what kind of shots they can take. They've got Del Castillo, they've got Bilbao, they've got Saldivar, they've got the big, speedy wide receivers. Just can they get enough time with the offensive line, and can they connect? I guess that's the big question here coming up.
Yeah, just one catch for Bilbao, and he was so effective in that American game earlier this week. See if we can get him involved a little bit more. But just one more hats off, Grayson, to that Panama defense who stood in there as long as they could, giving their team a chance to win. And if it wasn't for that aggressiveness on 4th down, maybe they take a field goal. Maybe it feels different. I don't know, but Australia managed to win at the end and get the 7.
This one is going to bounce, just out of the end zone. What a perfect kick there, taken by Affrey. Affrey, though, does he have something here? Gets a block and back to the 20, a little bit further, but it was a long run to get 20-some yards for Affrey.
How many times here in the second half have we seen Panama just avert a nightmare situation? You think about the punt with Del Castillo on the bad snap. This time, bad bounce on the end zone, goal line. and Afri's got to make something out of nothing, and he does. He gets him back to the 22. So Afri's had such a good game on defense and on special teams, and bails his mates out a little bit there.
We don't pick the player of the game, but if I'm choosing it for Panama, I might look that way. Restrepo quickly out, and he connects with Bilbao. Bilbao, and was he forced out of bounds or did he stay in? Well, the clock has stopped, so they did give him out of bounds. Only got 2, though, so he's 2nd and 8.
Yeah, we mentioned number 17 before the start of this drive. How are you going to get him involved? He's got good size and athleticism. You see him at the top of the screen. He made a good catch there.
Empty backfield for Restrepo. Again, quickly out. This is Anderson, the running back who'd lined up out wide. He'll get out of bounds as well. Right at the 30, so 3rd and 2 here for Panama. Trying to just get things going efficiently. Quickly out to a receiver and out of bounds.
Restrepo a little flat-footed on that last throw. It meant the ball came in a little lower than I think Anderson wanted it. A little bit of a stretch out. Maybe he can get to that first down. So big 3rd and short coming up.
Again, the backfield empty for Panama. 3 receivers near side, 2 to the far side. Restrepo, he's going to run. I think he wants to take it himself. He slides. Not sure he got much more than the original line of scrimmage here. And it looks like that's exactly where they've marked him. And so that's going to bring up 4th and 1, a full yard at least. Clock running here. Panama's got to go quick. This is basically the ball game here. Restrepo directing traffic, and that's going to be incomplete. Trying to hook up with Saldivar. Tight window there, and he threw it wide, and that's a turnover on downs. Australia get the ball in plus field position.
You got to take a time out there, Grayson, I think. Talk about this play. The clock is rolling. You don't got much time left. I understand it's the 2-score game, but talk about it. I thought that maybe Australia got away with a little bit of a face mask on the Restrepo slide in the first place. So just sit down, talk about it, maybe regain your composure. There was nothing there for Restrepo anyway. Ran out of real estate on the near side, and now they don't have the ball anymore, and it feels like maybe that is it for Panama here in this consolation side game.
The only thing I could think of is maybe they thought they could catch them off guard by staying on the field, going hurry up, but didn't work out there because this Australian defense has been, again, essentially perfect in this game. And so now I suspect we'll see a heavy dose of the running backs, both Butcher and Croxall, who takes this handoff, makes his way forward for a few, make sure he holds on to that ball, and he gets about halfway to a first down.
And a couple of linemen slow to get up, and this has been a real slog down there in the trenches today. Boy, do Australia have some big-time running backs. Croxall this time there, Butcher as well. And clock will stop with the injury timeout, but boy, lots and lots of wear and tear down there on the inside where the game was battled all afternoon long.
This Panama defense has been on the field so long in this game, it's only natural that they would start to tire and wear out a little bit. One of the players is down right now, which has brought things to a halt with 2:41 to go here in quarter number 4. Play that Australia might have just salted it away there on that 4th and 1 stop.
Yeah, I think so. And that'll set up a game with Canada 2 on Sunday. That'll be
interesting.
Can I make another lunch reference?
I think you can. You can.
That'll be another one you want to pack a lunch for. Yeah, that's going to be a big battle, big bruising battle here on the weekend, holiday weekend here in Canada. And I mean, the action's been so good. You know, some of the scores haven't been super close, but the talent on display and the tenacity, determination from these squads these players who've gone out there and battled every snap, no matter the score. And you can see them getting a good hand. And how about these fans, too, the Australian side? Pleasure to be around and good sportsmanship on both sides.
Matthew Taton, the injured lineman there for Panama, who will walk off under his own power, which is always great to see. It seems likely, too, we will see Panama and Brazil in that 7th place game, which is very interesting. That was meant to be a South American qualifying matchup between those two teams. before we had a couple of dropouts. So they both wound up coming here, and I think that'll be a really interesting game as a young Australian fan getting the crowd going here.
The Australians do this sort of jazz hands cheer before when their team's on offense, so they're not making a lot of noise, right? It's pretty cute.
Show the support, but again, quiet offense at work,
yeah,
right?
Exactly.
So again, Woodhouse, as we get ready for this 2nd and 5 play, the clock is back running, which is why things are kind of casual at the moment. Did Panama take a timeout? Yes, they did. And so that'll bring things to a halt with 2:16 to go. Panama's first timeout here in half number 2.
And maybe that's what they were trying to save the timeouts for. They were thinking, and previously back to the Panama sequence where they went for 4th and 1 without calling a timeout, is they felt that maybe if they got the quick first down, tempo offense, they could save those timeouts for trying to get the ball back. But, they burned one here, and Australia's probably a first down away from kneeing out and this game being a wrap.
Some smiles on the Australian sideline. Outstanding designs on both the uniforms and the coach apparel there. I suspect that's an indigenous design of some sort.
Yeah, it looks like it. And I love the athletic flag of the Fighting Kangaroo.
Yes.
That's brilliant. They have that displayed here on this side of the wall next to the Australian standard flag. And, yeah, good look.
So again, we've got 2nd down here and 5 for Australia. Butcher is the running back behind Woodhouse. And you've got Samoa lined up, ready to block for him. So I suspect maybe this run might go to the right. And they do toss it that way. And Butcher gets a first down, and that might just do it here. Couple of timeouts left for Panama, of course.
We mentioned the tenacity, the work ethic of these clubs, and you got Koenig out there to make the initial tackle, and he's got to dodge Samoa and try to tackle Butcher in space. Not going to happen. Not that first tackle anyway. Panama is going to take a timeout to try to slow things down as best as possible, but I don't think they got enough timeouts to stop them for the rest of the time.
That's their 2nd timeout with 2:04 to go. This young man is having the time of his life at the moment. Lots of smiles on the faces of the Australian fans and the players, of course, as they seem destined for a victory here. Hard fought, though. You've got to tip your cap to this Panama squad. Again, they've left everything out there. And if they would have got some points there at the end of the first half, who knows how this thing would have turned out. But Australia came up with the stop.
And, you think back to that pass interference penalty
right
back in the first quarter, and you think, if that doesn't happen, what we know now of no kicking attempts is maybe they go for it, maybe they're stopped. Maybe we're looking at a much different game, deadlocked. And, yeah, I mean, it was a great game either way, but Panama hung in there. They battled every snap.
So Australia, again, 1st and 10 from the Panama 16. Woodhouse comes right up under center, and he'll hand this one off. Butcher in the backfield, sheds a couple of tackles, keeps the legs moving. He's going to be close to a first down, should maybe have it if he got the rollover yardage. Looks like they're going to mark him, at the 5, so that would be a first down. And I suspect Panama might take their last time out here.
Yeah, they did. Stop the clock again for the 3rd and final time with their timeouts. 1:55 to go. I don't know if Australia has to. Yeah, they'll have to run at least one play with the clock changed. So Butcher or Croxall will get it at least one more time. And if you're Panama, you don't like getting scored on any time. Doesn't matter if it's a close game or if it's a blowout or if it's the end of the game or the beginning. And they want to keep this out as a point of pride. I mean, 14-0's a respectable score. 21-0 can feel like it might as well be 50. So you're going to stand in there and take this hit, and we'll see if they, which running back will get it.
I think Panama will be a little bit frustrated from an offensive standpoint, obviously not putting up any points here against Australia after scoring twice against the Americans with 2 touchdowns. I think they would have thought that maybe they would have been able to be equal offensively with Australia, but this Australian defense, which against Japan gave up 50, but again, they were pretty good, all things considered. So it's a tough unit to break down defensively for the Aussies.
Yeah, penalty is the Achilles heel for Panama today. That really disrupted their flow and rhythm offensively for sure.
And these teams are just trying to come together, too, for an event like this. Make it up of players from all over the country. So one more handoff here. Butcher, is he going to get in? Sure he is. Oh, no, they've marked him down just one short at the 1 yard line.
He ran into
the knee just touched.
Yeah, he ran into his own guy, William Moore. And Moore's a big fella. So that stopped him right in his tracks. So, yeah, they put him down at the 1.
Take another look. You can see where the knee goes down. Ball's not quite over the line yet.
He's running into your own guy. It always used to get on my nerves. Eh? Get out of the way.
So now we'll see what kind of sportsmanship the Aussies have. I suspect they'll just kneel this one out. They can certainly run out the rest of the clock.
It's not victory formation.
Can consider this a practice for your goal line. Set now. Butcher will get in. Finishes off that play. Touchdown Australia. And that will certainly put this one to bed.
Yeah, it was just a matter of who was going to get the last nod, Butcher or Croxall. And that's Butcher powering in. Little late hit there. That's a little push from the linebacker. I think that was number 22, Monteforte, who was saying, hey, thanks for jamming that last one in on us there here late in the game. But, hey, they pounded the ball on the ground all afternoon long. They didn't waver from it. And it's Butcher with the score.
So Pratt will look to chip this one over again for the extra point. Just a little icing on the cake now, perhaps, for the Aussies. And he does chip it through. That one looked pretty good. The one previous, a little bit questionable, but that one certainly had the distance.
Sorry, Grace.
Go ahead, TJ.
Big rise out of the Australian faithful, supporting their mates who punch in a third and final score probably for the afternoon. And you can see some Panamanian defenders over there on hands on the knees, breathing out, trying to get to the end of this one. Tough, gritty performance by the Australians, muscling up and powering through Panama for the 21-0 victory.
So that'll set up Australia versus Canada 2. Should be a real interesting game. That'll be at 4 o'clock Mountain Time tomorrow, so the same start time as this one. So if you're watching Sydney-Melbourne, that's 8 o'clock in the morning. If you're in Western Australia, a little bit earlier than that. I believe it's 6 a.m. in Perth.
And that's Sunday us, Monday them.
Monday
right?
them, correct, yes. So July 1st. As this one's gathered in by Afri. Panama will play Brazil. That's 11 o'clock Mountain Time. Look at Afri go. He's not quitting. He's got my player of the game vote, I think.
Yeah, mine too, Grayson. I agree. Afri's just had a wonderful game. And what I love about watching him is anything can happen. He's got this spontaneous offense about him. And he makes things happen on special teams. And a little stutter step made me stutter saying it. Broke it out, get up to the 30-yard line. Are they going to – how much time they got here? They got about 40. Yeah, I'll run a couple plays.
Might as well take a shot. And Afri did such a good job covering defensively, too. Lockdown corner for Panama. So Restrepo might as well heave it up now. He quickly flings it out to Anderson. Anderson will be pushed out of bounds. Tackle made by Barsic there.
Australia did such a good job taking away the opportunity for short catches to turn into big gains. providing that level of defense to limit the speed and limit the ability for these speedy Panamanian receivers to make plays.
I think the only thing I would have liked to see from Panama, more of this. Take a bit of a shot. The Australian defense crept up, knowing that everything was going to be short. You got to keep them honest, I think, with a look like that. There's Bilbao hauling in a pass right around midfield, the 49-yard line of Panama for a first down.
Yeah, that's a great point. And if Panama's going to take anything into this game against Brazil is, keep them honest. Keep them honest defensively. Make sure that you can spread the field.
So Panama's going to do everything they can here to try to put something on the board here in the final minutes. Restrepo on the run, heaves it deep. Lloyd is open and he's got it inside the 20 near the 15-yard line. Big time game, but Panama, they don't have any more timeouts, so they've got to hustle up here. The clock's not running though, strangely enough.
Not sure why the clock isn't running, but what a play and catch from Lloyd. In traffic, improvising on the route. Next play.
Quickly here, Restrepo flushed out again. A flag is down. Restrepo sees the end zone, and he falls in. Touchdown, but we've got to wait for the flag.
Not sure what the call is going to be. I'm still a little perplexed by why the clock wasn't running. Let's see what the call is here on the field.
So the officials have gathered, and let's get another call from Matthias Kettenringer.
10-yard penalty, replay first down.
So it was a holding call. That's a tough one for Panama. So that'll push them back a little ways here. 12.6 seconds left. The chant is "Let's go Outback" from the Australian fans. Restrepo, Anderson wide open, and we wanted to go to Del Castillo instead, and it was knocked away.
Felt like he didn't know who he wanted to throw to. Anderson was kind of sweeping around into the pathway of where that ball was going. Del Castillo was the closest receiver to the throw, so a little indecision from Restrepo here as he gets set to make the last play of the game.
8.6 on the clock. Restrepo standing in, heaving long, wants Anderson, picked off. Interception, Australia. And that is a touchdown saving tackle from Bilbao, but we've got a flag as well. Would this be a hold against Panama maybe? Zero's on the clock, so Australia, if it is against Panama, I suspect Australia will just decline and this thing will be over. Interception there by Matthew Hull.
In a way, it's kind of fitting that Restrepo's touchdown was pulled back by a penalty because that was the limitation on offense.
Holding, offense, number 50. The penalty is declined. It's a first down, Australia.
It's kind of been the story of the game. And that's the end of the game on that penalty. So declined by Australia. And as I was saying, that's been the story for Panama on offense. Good starts, penalty finishes, interrupting their offense. And they're gonna have to give this one away now, 21-0.
So big win for Australia here as they will play in the 5th place game. And that will be against Canada 2. I just wanted to check real quick. If I'm not mistaken, and I don't think I am, oh no, they beat China in their very first game in 2016. So it's the second win for Australia at a World Junior Football Championship. So congratulations to them in that program as they will advance to the 5th place game. Panama will take on Brazil for 7th place. And again, both those games coming up on Sunday, June 30th or July 1st if you're watching from down under. Again, we'll stick with you until we have the player of the game presentations as the two teams are going to line up here for some handshakes.
So we know you already handed it out to Afri on the Panama side. Who'd you like on the Australia side, Grayson?
Well, there's a number of options, aren't there?
Yeah.
That's a tough one. Heath was so good in the first half, and then Mason Field had a couple of big plays in the second half. You could maybe go someone on the defensive side. It's tough. There's so many options. I'm not sure.
You don't feel comfortable making a call?
I don't. Maybe
Okay.
that's my way of dancing around your question.
Smart. That's smart. Yeah, I charge into those predictions myself, I'm going to go off the board. I'm going to say the fullback, Lennox Samoa. They don't get as many yards on the ground unless he's out there blocking. I know it's unlikely, but hey, I like a long horse. Give me the 100-1, and I'm taking Samoa.
There you go.
But I like Affrey for Panama. I think that's stood out to me.
We don't get to make the decision.
It's not us. That's why we're doing this.
That's why we'll guess. Will we get it right? I don't know. Let's find out. As the handshake line continues here. Panama, it just feels like there were just a handful of plays that if they go the other way, we might be looking at something different here, or at least maybe something a little bit closer. But unfortunately, that's the way it goes sometimes. And Panama will look to regroup as they take on Brazil. That'll be a real interesting matchup. Kind of two younger programs trying to establish themselves on the world stage. And Australia coming to Canada will get a shot at a Canadian team. And I'm sure that's something that they were hoping for, looking forward to, making the trip up here.
Yeah, I think that's what you're looking for, right, in this kind of international tournament. Certainly when you get to the consolation side. You're looking to be tested a little bit. You're looking to see how you stack up against stronger competition globally and put your players through opportunities to cultivate a sense of themselves as young athletes, but also a sense of the direction of the program of the country. And they're getting that. They really are. Australia used to picking up their second tournament win in their club's history, and Panama now will take on Brazil, and we'll see them continue to bring that same work ethic, that same fortitude, and they're carrying injured Caden Eastwood out there. Gosh, if my coach was carrying me like that, I'd be like, if you drop me, I'm quitting.
Well, he looks like a man who's never seen a set of crutches before, and hopefully for his case, that's the truth, because he's really struggling trying to operate them. So let's just carry him out there and get him to the line quicker. So the players of the game now will be announced. There's one of the MVP trophies. Camera crew's done such a great job. The sideline cam shots have been incredible. So a big kudos to all of our camera crew here at Clark Stadium. Long days too. The guys get here